I know, I look exactly like Leonardo DiCaprio. When their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of revolutionaries reunite to rescue one of their own's daughter. You know, we live in interesting times. Shoot, civilization has always been in interesting times, but now more than ever, it's become louder because of social media, and everybody wants to have a camera, everybody wants to have a microphone, and who's louder than the other? Things get violent, things get intense, and it just feels like there's just so much chaos happening in the world. And I go to movies to be entertained, also to be moved and to feel something, to also feel dread, to feel horror, to feel joy, to cry, to laugh. I love movies. And seeing a movie like One Battle After Another is an experience that gives me all different types of feelings. I haven't felt this way about a movie since Oppenheimer. I've loved a lot of movies after that, but not this feeling of just looking into the world and seeing it for what it is. And this movie isn't overtly political. It's not in your face. It's not shoving a message down your throat. It's subtle with it because the story here is so well executed. You fall in love with these characters. You see the chaos they create for themselves, but also the chaos that is this world, that is America. Paul Thomas Anderson does a great job in crafting a story that feels urgent. Another movie that kind of gave me the same feelings, but it just wasn't executed that well, I think, was Eddington, showing the crazy side of both sides, how opinions can lead other people to crazy actions. And honestly, I kind of want to give it a rewatch because that story isn't really that far from reality. And can I just say, Warner Brothers, you are absolutely killing it this year in 2025. Really, I just thought this movie was going to be about Leonardo DiCaprio losing his mind and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Well, I'm not necessarily wrong with that approach to the film because Leonardo DiCaprio is going crazy because he loves his daughter. And really, this story is at its core a father and daughter story. The real heartbeat of this story is all the battles generations go through and how they go into the next generation and how this current generation is being called to take a stand. What are you going to do about all these problems that are happening in the world? What is your voice going to say? How will that potentially make a change for the best? Within minutes to the final sequence, I was captivated all the way through. Specifically, the opening. It pretty much spells out what one of the main topics is about. Slight spoiler warning for you, but the movie is tackling on immigration. Quite honestly, I believe this is Paul Thomas Anderson's best film to date on a directing standpoint and how he can bring so many different creatively talented people and not just have one great performance, but multiple great performances. Whenever you talk about Leonardo DiCaprio, it's just easy to say, he's great. He's great in that, he's great in that, and he's great in this. Playing Bob, an ex-revolutionary who's going through a lot of ups and downs, mainly downs in this current season with his teenage daughter, where he's trying to be a good father, but doesn't really know how to get out of his rut. You also have Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, and Benicio del Toro, who is great with comedic timing in this. An actress who has blown me away from how quick they have come from being who's this to now everyone's going to look for her name, Chase Infiniti. From going from an Apple TV Plus show called Presumed Innocent, which you should totally check it out, it's awesome. But ever since I saw her in that, she has captivated my attention. And now, in her second or third project, she's in a Paul Thomas Anderson film, and she holds up with someone like Leo. Without a doubt though, the person that actually takes over the entire movie every time he shows up with his real smug face, Sean Penn as Captain Lockjaw. Yes, that is his name. You're made to not like this character, but you love that you hate him. He is the best of villains that we have received this year. PTA is a master of showing you scale, but with intimate characters. This is probably his closest film of feeling like a blockbuster or something that general audiences can watch and obtain than compared to something like The Master. For a movie that's almost 3 hours long, a runtime at 2 hours and 40 minutes, I didn't feel the length. It just goes by. The pacing feels like you are just part of this roller coaster journey and you don't really want to get off. You want to see how all of this is going to come crashing down. Whenever I see trailers saying you must see this in IMAX, it makes me feel a little annoyed because every single trailer wants you to believe their movie deserves an IMAX experience. Well, One Battle After Another is that film that you should actually go see in IMAX because every scene feels like it is utilized pretty well for IMAX. One moment in particular that absolutely sold me on just this one moment seeing it in IMAX is a chase sequence. It rivals anything I've seen in Fast and Furious the last couple of movies. Yes, there's politics here. It tackles things like nationalism, immigration, but it's never forced. For a movie like this to come out in today's age with the budget that it had is kind of a miracle, and I really hope you guys check this one out because it's not just entertaining, it's not just hilarious, it's something that's relevant for today and probably generations to come. 10 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, but most of all, do not forget to be blessed.